defensively for you guys after you went up 20 in the second half?
Our offense.
Did you feel like there was anything that you guys got away from offensively in that stretch after you reached that point?
I'll have to go back and watch the film.
What?
Nicole and Jamal, coach, carried a lot of the burden offensively for you guys. What did you, what sort of broke down between them within the second half, just within those actions?
Well, I think so much was being placed on their shoulders. I mean, it was, we're expecting Nicola and Jamal to continue to pull rabbits out of their hat, man, and somebody else got to give some help. I mean, Joker 34, Jamal 35, and we just struggle to make shots. They're a really good defense. I thought our guys played extremely hard tonight to hold that team to 98 points, 39 from the field, 29 from three. But as I said all series long, are we going to be able to score enough in this series? And once again, in the 4 losses, we couldn't score. I think now after the 4 losses, we probably average around 85 points a game and 115 in the 3 wins. So we had it going. Jamal had it going in the first half. We scored. And obviously at halftime, they picked up their aggression, ran off our misses. They became aggressive. And then the second half, they totally dominated the glass. We dominated in the first half. In the second half, they rebounded us 29-15.
Coach, were you satisfied with the quality of the offense in terms of the process of getting shots, or was it one of those things where you thought that missed shots kind of affected what you guys did on that end and on the other end as well?
No, I mean I don't think our missed shots affected anything except the scoreboard. I mean, again, they shot 39 from the field. Anthony Edwards was 6 of 24. So the missed shots didn't affect anything other than us not scoring. But to give up 98 points in a Game 7 on those percentages, I'll take that all day long. Was our offense where it needed to be in that second half? I think it could definitely have been better. We could have gotten probably better looks. But again, for 82 games, they're the #1 defense for a reason. And we just weren't able to make enough shots and create enough good shots in that second half.
Coach, after a great first series with Michael Porter Jr. shooting the ball, what do you think happened in this series to his game offensively?
They guarded him. Yeah, they guarded him really well. And obviously against the Lakers, he was able to get off. I don't know what the percentages are, but in our 4 losses, I know Michael didn't shoot the ball well, and he wasn't the only one, but, he was 3 of 12 tonight, 1 of 6 from 3. Last 2 games, they doubled Nicola. I felt a lot of those were good looks, just didn't go down. And I know, sometimes it's an oversimplification of the NBA being a make or miss league, but we just did not make enough shots in this series, Michael included, but he wasn't the only one. We as a team did not make enough shots, and I didn't help generate enough good looks maybe to help ourselves. But every series is a learning opportunity, and this feeling sucks, as I told our players. You go from training camp all the way through, and then it comes to an abrupt halt, and that hurts. So use that feeling as motivation and come back a better player. We won it last year. Teams in the West, they regrouped, they retooled. How are we going to beat the champs? And teams got better. And you got to tip your cap to Minnesota. Obviously, Chris Finch, their team, Anthony Edwards, all their players. That was a hell of a series, and they gave us all we could handle. And they wound up winning Game 7 on our court, which is a tough one to swallow. But we'll be back. We just got to find ways to look inside, look outside, and find ways to continue to get better.
Coach, to fight for top 3 seed and then to ultimately lose 3 home games in this series, how, you mentioned them winning on your home court here in the holler and in the locker room. How tough is that to swallow that you guys did lose the 3 home games?
Well, of course, we have one of the best home records in the NBA this year, and to lose 1 and 2 and then to lose 7 is, I don't think anyone could have predicted that happening. I think most people had the series going 7, but not the way it went 7. It was kind of a strange series in that regard. But yeah, that's to let them come in here 3 times and beat us on our home court. That's something that we're not accustomed to. And if you're going to try to win a championship, if you're going to try to get to Western Conference Finals, obviously you got to protect your home court.
Michael, you touched on it briefly, I think, in the previous answer, but the devastation you saw from your players walking off the floor down the hallway, what kind of a message do you try to give to them? I mean, obviously, tough words, and you can see from their faces that everything they gave, and now it's over.
Yeah, it's hard. And I think, you know, as I've gone through my NBA career as a head coach, you know, I used to meet with players right after the season ended and talk. I don't do that anymore. It's too emotional. You know, the sting of it is still too raw. So I think it's good for everybody to get away, for me to get away, and kind of reflect on the season in totality. Because right now, all I'm thinking of is that we're done, and that for me hurts. For our players, it hurts. Go back to work. You know, I mean, we all have to dig deep, look inside, come back better individually, and then as a team, as a group, we'll get with Calvin, we'll get with Josh, and you're always looking at ways to get better, and that's what we're going to do.
Coach, I think Kevin Harlan said on the TV broadcast that this is the 6th straight year the defending champ hasn't gotten past the second round. What do you think that says about just how tough it is to advance as the defending champ?
Well, we knew it was hard. You know, something I talked to our team about in training camp. You know, I think the last team to do it was the 17-18 Warriors. And with the rules being what they are now, I think it's going to become even harder and harder to repeat as champions. But the one thing I keep on going back to right now is that I consider the San Antonio Spurs a dynasty. And they never won back-to-back. So losing, the hurt of it, the pain of it, it helped us win our first championship. Can we use this year? You know, we tied a franchise record, 57 wins. We went 21-6 out of the All-Star break. We really stepped up. Beat the Lakers in the first round and lost to a very talented Timberwolves team who held the #1 seed most of the year until the very end. So it is hard. It is hard. It is hard to repeat. It's hard to win. And we all got to do whatever it takes to not have this feeling again next year. But I'm very proud of the entire team, all 18 players, everything they sacrificed since Labor Day. I'm very proud and thankful for the coaching staff that I have, the ownership group that we have. And, you know, this is just a momentary delay. You know, it's failure is not fatal. We'll be back.
Coach, winning the championship, you have to have a certain level of hunger. I can imagine defending a championship is exhausting. How exhausting has the totality of this season been?
Yeah, I think it's a really important point, and I would never, and those that know me, I'm not an excuse maker. The better team won, so I'm taking nothing away from Minnesota. But when you look at the fact that all the teams that are still playing, we played into June last year, a lot of basketball. And then we had to play our guys, our main guys, unlike last season, through game 82 to secure the #2 seed. Whereas last year we were able to rest down the stretch. And I think the run last season and coming back and, you know, the amount of minutes that our starters had to play, I think mentally, emotionally, physically, I think guys are gassed. They're dead tired. They gave me everything I could ever ask for. And that's why, as much as this hurts, I will walk out of this building tonight with my head held very high. Because we competed, we fought, we gave ourselves a chance, and we came up short. And that's going to happen at times. No one ever said this was going to be easy trying to repeat. And like I said, you know, we just got to improve across the board, get better, and come back even stronger. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.